video that you guys saw, Tasha was talking about all of the seeds we got, and oh my goodness, the seeds. Well, here, we can't even start planting those for a few more weeks, so this is a perfect time for us to take a family trip. It's not something we do very often. It's been about 2 years since we have. So we had this opportunity to go to a, actually BJJ Globetrotters camp in Phoenix, and that is where almost all of our family is. So we were taking the opportunity to do two things. We were going to go to this camp, and then we're also going to have an opportunity for all of the grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and cousins to meet the twins. So we're going for, it's going to be almost 2 weeks with all of the driving and stuff. And yes, we are crazy. We are driving. As you can see, we are fully loaded up. And some of you guys that have been watching us for a while may notice this is a little bit smaller vehicle than what you saw when we went to get our Christmas tree. We do have a 12-passenger van, and we've got a minivan. Well, our oldest Elijah is not going on this trip because he still has school. So we decided we would shove everything we need for 4 kids that are 4 and under and 2 adults into this minivan to drive from Wisconsin to Arizona. It's going to take us about 2.5 days to get there. We have fully loaded up with as many car games, toys, sensory activities, electronic devices that we could possibly shove in this thing to keep the toddlers entertained. And the babies are easy. They like to sleep in the car anyways, so it's going to be rotating of stopping, changing butts, giving bottles, getting snacks. And if it gets too crazy, I'll just turn the stereo up a little bit. So stick with us. We're going on this trip. We're going to vlog the whole time and condense it down into a short video for you guys to show you all the stuff we're doing. We got some really cool stuff. One thing that Levi is super excited about is on Tuesday, we are going to go to the Scottsdale Odyssey Aquarium, and we'll do a completely separate vlog for that one. It is a very, very cool thing that we saw it going up when we still lived in Arizona, and we always thought it'd be a really awesome thing to take the kids to. And Levi is super into sharks right now, and they have sharks. He is really excited. We have been counting down the days, and that is something that we will vlog, and I guarantee when you guys see the excitement on his face, it will make you smile. So stick with us. We're going on the Miller family trip. See you at the next stop.
So we are hanging out at a rest stop. We're actually just outside of Missouri right now, and we're having a little bit of a snack outside. We've been in the car for about 6 hours so far, and that's a long time for little guys, so they're enjoying the snack. It's about 53, 54 here, so a little bit chilly to be hanging out outside, but it feels really good. When we left this morning, it was like 32. So just gonna keep getting warmer, which I'm really excited about. And when we finish snack, we're gonna get back on the road, and we're staying in Kansas tonight. So the kids are very excited to be outside again. Good morning. So we are actually in Emporia, Kansas this morning. That's where we stopped for the night. And so I kind of wanted to give a little bit of a hotel with small kids hack. Actually, I have 2 of them. So first one is we did bring bottles and formula because that was easier for us to travel with. So I picked up one of these little bottles of dish soap. You could have gotten one of these at the dollar store. We got ours at the gas station because we forgot. And so I put 1 drop into here and then filled it up with really hot water. Thankfully the sink does hot water. And so then these are like soaking, cleaning right now. As soon as they're done eating, we have been focusing on rinsing them out right away, even if it's just with cold water or even with bottled water, just to make sure that none of that stuff, or we get out as much as we can before it sits. And then we brought our handy dandy bottle brush. It's actually one of the Nikki ones. And then in here, same Dawn dish soap. This is all of the inserts and lids and nipples and all that for these 2 bottles. And then over here are the bottles that I already washed and Joe's coffee cup. Just drying for a few minutes before we pack them all up and take them back. So this has been a huge money saver, so that we don't have to like buy disposable bottles or honestly take the time to nurse on the road because we're on the road. So just thought that was an interesting thing that you guys can totally do this in any hotel room. We're gonna do the exact same thing tonight at our next stop. And yeah, you can absolutely, and this is for twins, so if you only have one baby, it's even easier because you only have a couple bottles. So let's get on to our next tip. Good morning, kiddos.
Yeah. Good morning, Mama.
Did you guys get good sleep in your beds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, babies.
My son.
So the other huge hack that we did is most of the time when we've traveled before, we haven't really had a food budget, and we have spent way more than we really needed to. And so this time I set a strict food budget, like figured out how much we have per meal per day. And then, you know, there's obviously going to be some wiggle room in that, but I really wanted to keep tabs on it this time because we're going to be here. Our trip is going to be almost 2 weeks. So one of the ways that I'm kind of keeping tabs on this is I actually packed lunch bins. So this is everything that is going to go into the kids' lunch boxes for the day. Now, since this is the first time that I've done it, I totally forgot to pack lunch stuff for Joe and I, so we are still having to find food on the go. However, we're trying to do that at grocery stores so that we can do delis instead of driving through. Fast food has really not been sitting well with our kids lately, and so we're trying to avoid any of the greasy stuff. And if we drive through for us, they know the routine. And so then they'll want something too. So let me show you how I did this. Okay, so this here is the big kids' lunch boxes. So obviously Shiloh's butterflies, Levi is sharks. He's all about sharks right now. So then here I have some snacks that didn't quite fit in our snack bin. But I got these sandwich thins. The kids love them and they're healthy and they hold up because they have this box. They are a little bit sturdier than just a loaf of bread that would get squished by everything in here. And then I went super easy and basic. Just got one of these jars that have the peanut butter and jelly mixed together. So I just make them a PB&J. And then we've got some cutie clementines because those hold up to travel pretty well. They don't need to be refrigerated. We have some pretzels here, which is for Shiloh. Levi doesn't really like them. And then I have a lot of pouches. So I have morning pouches because we weren't sure what the hotel breakfast situation was going to be with COVID. So I wanted to make sure that they would have something. So these have like chia seeds and oats and yogurt. So even if they just eat this and like a, muffin or something, at least I know they got some nutrition. And then for their lunch box, I also have these other combinations that are fruit and veggies. Because that way, they're getting some fiber with their lunch. And then of course it's vacation, so my kids don't normally get juice, but they are each getting a little juice box in their lunch box. And then I also have these little 2 packs of Oreos, which are the perfect size, and just toss one of those in there. And it's a nice little treat for the kids. They don't usually get cookies and that kind of thing either, so that makes it fun.
What's up, everybody? Joe here for Scruffy Fam. Oh my goodness, I am scruffy today. This is what happens when we do hotel sleep-in. So let's show you guys what we got going on here. So we are in the pack it up to leave mode so we can get on the road. We're in Emporia, Kansas tonight, and we are driving to Albuquerque today. It's going to be a bit of a trip. I think this is our longest stretch we're doing, and we're doing that on purpose so that we can get in a little bit earlier tomorrow to Arizona to family. So right now we're pre-positioned and ready with the bigs and the littles. Everybody did really good last night. So mom and dad slept on this bed. Shiloh slept on the one Reese. We have the mountain of pillows surrounding that worked as our bed rails because both of us forgot to bring our bed rails. And Levi slept on this pullout last night, and the twins slept in pack and plays. We had this place, we were jammed in here, but it worked out really well. Everybody was so exhausted last night that everybody slept. The twins got up at 5, and then everybody else got up around 6. So we are ready to go. We'll see you guys on the road. Hey everybody, how you doing? Joe here again for the Scruffy Fam. Oh wow, 3 days in the car with 4 kids, 1 autistic one, 2 babies, and a toddler. Holy cow, that was an experience. So hey, we with as big of a family as we have, there is no staying with friends and family anymore. When you bring 4 kids and yourself, that's 6 of us entering into someone's house. It's a little bit difficult. So we ended up getting an Airbnb actually in the town we used to live in when we lived here in Arizona. Really cool to be able to do this. We ended up getting a 3-bedroom Airbnb that's only a couple blocks away from my in-laws' house, and we're gonna go hang out with them tonight. Just kind of take it easy the rest of the night. We got all the kids here getting switched out to our desert stuff. Coming from Wisconsin, we were in the 30s, maybe the 40s a little bit, and it is almost 80 degrees here. So really warm, got everybody switched out to shorts and t-shirts and sandals. So tonight we're just gonna hang out with family, and tomorrow morning I get to get up bright and early to go get a COVID test so that I can go to this jiu-jitsu camp. So stick with us, guys. We'll see you again. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming with us on our trip. So just the amount of content that we're going to have for this trip, we're going to break this up into a couple different videos for you guys. So the trip here was kind of nuts. We had to do some rearranging of the car the last day. You know, when you have an autistic child, you really need to kind of go with the flow. And it really ended up being, Levi originally started in the back of the van. We had to move him up a row and move one of the babies back. And then we just kind of switched the babies out, whoever needed the most help in between the stretches of road. And that ended up helping a lot. And so one of the words of advice I can give you guys if you're ever road tripping with kids is you need to go with the flow, because kids will always throw you a curveball. And just, you know, realize that you're going on a trip and a vacation, and don't just be so crazy about it. It's always going to be stressful when you got to make it a last minute change, but you know, roll with it. And as long as it gets you where you're going, that's the important thing, right? So we were able to go and hang out with family. It was a lot of fun. Watching all of our kids interact with all of Tasha's brothers and sisters is always an entertaining thing to see. And because of the dynamic of Tasha's family, Tasha's the oldest of 11 kids. And so the age range that goes down there, Levi is actually like a year and a half younger than his youngest aunt. And watching them play is kind of funny. It's actually more like cousins than aunts. So it's really fun to see them interact and have a good time. And I know Grandma and Grandpa are absolutely loving it. And we'll get to hang out with my dad and my sister while we're here. But guys, that's it for the travel vlog. We got here. We'll vlog for you guys what's coming up this week. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's just way too much to cram in or be like a 5-hour video. So thank you so much for following. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far and checking out our videos. There's a lot more coming. When we get home, we're gonna hit the ground running. We've got some raised beds to build. We've got to figure out how we're gonna do strawberries this year. We've got landscaping projects. We've got some major house projects coming up. It's crazy. So follow along with us. Check it out. Super easy to follow us on Instagram at thescruffyfam or thescruffymama. If you want to get a hold of us, scruffyfam@gmail.com. Thank you so much for all of the support, and we'll see you guys next time.